Hey everyone, myself Rishabh, and in this video, I'll try to cover everything you need to know about the MAC addresses. And I hope by the time you are done watching this video, you have a clear understanding of what MAC addresses are. Now, let's get into the video. These are the points I will be covering in this lecture. So, let's start with the first one. What is MAC address? I have a fairly simple definition here. A MAC address, Media Access Control Address, is a unique identifier assigned to a network interface controller, NIC, for communication at the data link layer. Now you might be confused what this network interface controller NIC right here is. I will explain that to you in a minute. But before that, let's address the question, why do we need it? To understand that, we need to imagine a scenario. Let's say this is your home network. Let's call it the home network. Here's the router, the entry point of the network. And then with this, there are three devices connected to it. Okay. Imagine some confidential information that is intended for this computer only is received by the router. Now router is responsible for forwarding it to you. How can the router differentiate between this device and this device? Well, exactly. Without MAC addresses, it cannot. It just simply cannot. So you can compare it with the analogy of postal services. When a parcel comes, it has your address on it. It also contains the address of the sender. So just like that, router receives information in form of frames. And frames, I have a frame format right here. This is the format of a frame. It has, as you can see, the recipient's MAC address means yours, your machine's address. This was the problem. Router was not understanding, router was unable to differentiate between your devices and other devices in the network. MAC addresses solves it, and the sender's MAC address so that you can know who sent you the data and type data is the actual payload here. We will study about the type and FCS further when we learn the data link layers. Now you understand this analogy right here. Up until now, without MAC addresses, the router was having problem forwarding this packet, forwarding this frame, forwarding this information to you. Because if router randomly delivers it to this computer instead of yours, you will not get your crucial piece of information, and this device will have information that was not intended for him. So that is a breach of security right there. To address all these problems, MAC addresses were introduced. Some facts about MAC addresses now. It's a 48-bit address. It is represented in hexadecimal. I have the representation right here. Yeah. MAC addresses are represented like this in 6 octets. With separation, you could either use the dash or colons. As you can see, this is the hexadecimal notation I was talking about. This whole address is of 48 bits, which is further broken down into 24 plus 24. This is called OUI, organizationally unique identifier. There's an authority called IEEE, and this IEEE authority has made it mandatory for manufacturers of the NIC. The NIC means oh yeah, I haven't explained what NICs are. NICs are called network interface cards. These are physical hardware that are built into your computer, and these contain the unique address. Just again, imagine in analogy of the postal service, your house address is unique. If it's in Maple Street, house number 48, there can't be another house number 48 in the same street, can it? No. So this is not possible. Similarly, no two computers must have the same MAC address. It's not possible. To ensure that it does not happen, IEEE has regulated IEEE has make it mandatory for the organizations, for the manufacturers of the NIC to give each NIC a unique number, a unique MAC address. Like this, it could be some other address. But once it's in the NIC, it can never be reused. No reuse. Okay. The NIC looks something like this. This is where your connections are. And if we read the definition here, you might see one of the NIC's most important job inside NIC burned onto some type of ROM chip is a special firmware containing a unique identifier with a 48 value called the MAC address. What I just told you here, they have represented it like this. This is the MAC address burned into the ROM. Okay. Now let's move forward. What is the size? You can answer that. It's 48 bits. Okay. What is the representation? You can either represent it in this way or this way. What is this 24 plus 24 classification? Okay, so the first 24 bits are for OUI. It tells us about what organization made the NIC, what manufacturer made the NIC. And the last 24 bits tell us about the device containing the NIC or the MAC address. Okay, clear? Well, this is the definition of the MAC address. You can copy this from here, like no two NICs ever share the same MAC addresses. Any company that make NIC must contact the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, what I was just telling you, IEEE, and request a block of MAC addresses, which the company then burns into the ROM on its NICs. Well, there you have it. Everything you need to know about the MAC addresses in a single video. Please comment down below your thoughts and let me know if I left anything, and I'll meet you in the next one.